It's day 35, and there's one full day tomorrow left here in China. So after that, I'm going to the airport. There's been a lot happening, and for several days in a row, I just haven't been able to meditate in the mornings like I want to, and I really feel that I can see the effect that it has on my day. I feel better on the days that I do meditate in the morning. Now I've still been meditating for an hour every night on the days that I didn't meditate in the morning. You know, aside from the past few days through this whole experience, mostly I've been meditating for an hour in the morning and again for maybe 30 minutes to sometimes up to an hour in the evening. And I guess I just want to say some things to kind of fill in what has been happening the past few days. Now, if you read any of the posts that I share on Facebook, or maybe I don't recall if this was in a description or one of my videos even, but a few days ago I had this dream about my mom. I don't remember what the dream was about really, but she was in it, and I knew that she was dead. Now I've had plenty of dreams since my mom died about her or with her in it, but in all those dreams I never really knew that, like, it was like she had never died. She was just there alive, as if everything was the way it had always been. And then I wake up feeling like kind of confused or even like sad or, um, what's going on. But this dream was really different because I'd had this awareness that she wasn't here physically with me anymore. When I woke up, I felt so happy. I felt so happy because I had this dream about her again. And it felt like there was this little bit of denial that had been released, that I'd let go of, and was able to face the fact that she's no longer physically here with me, which is why I was able to why I could experience that in the dream. And then I had this dream last night about my friend William. I'm very good friends with his brother and his sister. And their mom had passed away recently, earlier this year. And I don't know, suddenly I had this dream about William. I've never had a dream about him before, or if I did, I can't remember, but I had this really long, vivid dream last night with William in it, and there was all these children. It was this big house, and I don't know who these children were or what the house was, but it was this house like near a hill, and the hill looked over this beautiful lake, and then there was like another lake that was near there, and I remember walking by the lake with William, and he was so pure. And I felt so at peace with him. I felt so at peace to be with him in that moment. And it's interesting that I had this dream last night because earlier today I thought, well, I better check on my friend right now. I know he's been going through a hard time. With his brother has been sick in the hospital. And so I checked on Facebook, and sure enough, Some people were talking about my friend's brother had died the same day too, or yesterday, or I don't know exactly when, but posts within the last 24 hours. And I was thinking about how is it that I had this dream about someone who died almost 10 years ago, the same day that I find out someone else lost their brother. Now, I'm very fascinated with these dreams because this waking time, I feel is just another dream. Yeah, I'm here recording this video and it all feels very real. But then again, so does it when I'm sleeping. When I'm asleep, everything feels just as real as it does when I'm awake. And when I'm asleep, I can't really remember much of the stuff that's happened during the time that I'm awake. Just like the time that I'm awake, I often can't remember much of what's happened when I'm asleep. It's like these two different experiences that I'm having. And what makes the waking dream so much more important, so much more real? Why are people so focused to think that when they're awake it must be real, but when they're asleep that it's just a dream? Well, how could that be? My experience tells me is that it's not like that at all. That when I'm asleep and when I'm dreaming, perhaps this might actually be more real than the time that I'm awake. Because when I'm asleep, I'm not limited by these false beliefs about who I am or what I am as much as I am as when I'm awake. Now I know that because in the past I went through a period where I was very focused on my dreams and had through this period of wanting to learn more and practice about lucid dreaming and astral projection. And I started to be able to do this, actually. Started to develop this ability for lucid dreaming that, if you don't know what that is, it's, I guess, where you're aware that you're dreaming, or you're aware that you've fallen asleep. And then astral projection is this technique where you then leave your body while you're sleeping. And so in those experiences, when I started to do that, I realized that I could do anything that I wanted. And so I would leave my body and I would go travel to other places in the world or travel outside the planet, some interstellar traveling. And so I was able to do that because I knew that the rules of physical reality don't actually apply. But when I'm awake, it's very hard to see that because there's so much evidence that shows that there are rules in this physical world and that I'm just having this 3D existence, even though I know deep down that there's more than that. But in the dream, it's totally different. And I think it's a sign to start paying attention more to my dreams, writing them down, or at least talking about them in these videos is helpful. And remember that I'm so much more powerful than I may have given myself credit for recently. You are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. You're so much greater than whatever you think you are. You just have no idea. Sweet dreams.